All right, welcome back. Absolute Batman issue number 17. To recap last time, Wonder Woman and Batman went into another plane, got an artifact for Waylon Jones to transform him back into a human. We haven't seen the repercussions of that yet. We just saw Waylon put it on, so hopefully we see it in this issue or the next. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to hop in because we're meeting Poison Ivy. That's my redhead goddess. Yes, sir. Every redhead is on my list, dog. On my 10th birthday, my mother surprises me with a trip into Gotham City. We live way out in Kane County, deep in the woods, just the two of us. I'm not used to wearing shoes. We visit the Heart Building, go to the very top. The height is dizzying, but my mother grips my tight hand. Do they call it the Heart Building because it's shaped like a heart? As I ask, peeking over the edge. No, Ivy, my girl. She says she calls me Ivy because I like climbing trees in the hollow behind our cabin. It's called that because it was built in the heart of the city, where the crosswinds intersect, carrying currents to all 5 boroughs. The legend is, more than anywhere else in the city, this spot gives me a wish, the best chance of taking root somewhere out there and growing strong. My mother plucks a dandelion for me. She is already sick, but I do not know this yet. Make a wish, she says, from the heart. And so I do. We're getting Ivy's backstory, which is more than most of the other villains, by the way. And we see the repercussions of that. As a man walks through the bottom of a parking garage, it seems, and says, "Hey, whoever's there, this is private property. You need to." What the fuck? And it's a bunch of stuff in eggs. As Poison Ivy says, "Welcome, officer, to my wish." Welcome to Absolute Batman, issue 17. In the heart of the city, giant trees cover a big building. As helicopters fly around and say, "What the hell are we looking at?" I have no idea. A full biohazard 5-block radius. Our job is to watch out for anyone trying to get in. What kind of psycho would try to get in? Insert Batman cutting through with fucking chainsaw hands. I mean, what the hell, man? Who is a psycho? This guy. He's got chainsaw gauntlets. And he talks to Pennyworth and says, "I'm in, so talk." GCPD indicates that the air is highly contaminated with unknown biological agents. 7 of Bullock's best went in ahead of you, and Pennyworth, use English. Sorry, an augmented mobile ultrasonic cannon. Extremely powerful military-grade weapon that uses sound waves to separate cells. Whatever is in there, just be careful. And Bruce says, "Oh, I found the officers that you were talking about." That's not possible. I'm looking at the police scans. There are no human signatures. So whatever you're looking at, they're not people anymore, as they transmutate into like plant bug looking things. Yeah, Poison Ivy murdered 7 people. 1 week ago. Batman Combat Journal. I found something today. I'm in the sewer looking for him again, talking about Waylon, and suddenly, there it is in the water. The sight makes my stomach turn. Reptiles shed when they're getting bigger, not smaller. I force out the thoughts. The arrowhead is working. Waylon is getting better. That's what I choose to believe. I also choose to believe that he's still my friend. So what it seems like is that we don't know if Waylon is actually using that thing to get worse or get better. Or maybe he's using it he could transform back and forth. Think about it. He can be like, "I want to be a human one day." And if it transmutates him, he can go back to being Killer Croc. But that's in the future. Bruce tries going to the Iceberg Lounge to see Ozzy. They kick him out and he says, "I'll see Ozzy. I'll be back tomorrow." The day after that, the day after that, the day after that. As Ozzy stares at him with disapproval and anger, he goes and shows up to Eddie, trying to say a riddle to him. No response comes through. He goes to the hospital and says, "His condition, Dr. Tompkins, I thought he needed to heal. I thought his skull was, well, yes, another month at least, but right now, Harvey's head is literally split in 2, barely connected. When the nurses came in this morning, he was just gone." So all of his villains are getting set in place. Anchor yourself. Feel the pavement through your souls. Nothing has changed. At least nothing that matters. Everything feels different, even Batman. And we see in the background that the people are celebrating Batman. He wasn't supposed to be a big celebratory thing, but after fighting Bane, it's hard not to. They love him. He's theirs now. In a way, it didn't mean to happen. He's never supposed to be the story, just the means, but he's everywhere. Sometimes I see that bat and I barely know what I'm looking at. We're having an existential crisis, essentially. Bruce is not understanding if the mission is the good mission. If he's hurting his friends, what's the point? He thought he was doing more good than bad, but it seems like he's only focusing on the bad. But someone's got to be Batman. As we cut back to him cutting down these things, I don't know what they were gonna. I was gonna say humans, but they're a mix of human and plant DNA. There's some kind of mutant gene. Whatever you do, Bruce, keep that mask on. As they try to pull it off, and he puts it back on and says, "I know, I know." He's got an electrical thingy-mabob out of his gauntlet. He runs through, puts it back on. The cape is dense fiber. It'll work as a barrier, but those things, they weren't just human and plant hybrids. There's more to them. And he goes back up the tree. I saw something like them once before when I was in that place, when he was in Arc M. In issue 10, when he was running through, that's when he first encountered Poison Ivy, when he went to the Isley exhibit, the Isley area. And he tells Pennyworth, look up a name for me. Isley. I'm 23. The next time I came to Gotham, my wish was taken hold, at least in a small way. I have a lab, I have funding, my research focuses on genetic, cytological engineering, injecting human stems with plant DNA. I work all day and night, often sleeping in the lab. I have some early success too. I engineer a human cell containing protoplasts, a photosynthetic human cell that can use the sun to heal, regenerate. I tour, I publish. More funding comes in, but it's not enough. Nothing is enough. My mother's sickness is back, has been for a while, a knot of cells in her brain growing out of control, her own body making too much of itself. These are big words for Elmo. Basically, she made a kind of cell that regenerates on its own using the sun. At night, I look out of the city and wonder if my mother's sickness is part of some bigger pathology happening to all of us. Alone, isolated, separated by walls, real and technological, and imagined. We turn inward, lose touch. Malignancies grow from our own selves, but if we could reconnect, rejoin from the heart, my Ivy girl, I hear my mother say, and then it hits me. What does Ivy do? It climbs. Maybe there's a version of me somewhere that stops at plants, but not this one, not here. I'll combine our cells with more, not just plants. I will pull from all 6 kingdoms of life, higher than anyone even thinks possible. And we might have to get into the forces of nature like the red, the blue, the green, because it's seemingly we're stepping into that. But going back to Bruce, he says stay grounded, stick to the routine. He shows up at the prison to go see Joe Chill. First Saturday of the month at 9 a.m., you visit him. He might not talk, maybe not ever. And so sitting there, the policemen come up and say he doesn't want to meet anymore. Ever. And he says, you can't do that. You hear me, Chill? I know you're back there. This is what we do. I wonder what reason Joe has to not visit him. Going back to Bruce, present day, killing and slashing through more and more of these plant monsters. Pennyworth says something human is there. Bruce says, I don't really see it. Well, the signal's weak, but it's there. All I'm saying is keep your eyes open. As a biblical angel-looking thing comes through and stares at Bruce, all of its eyes open, and he just grabs a grenade and throws it in. Pennyworth informing him, you were onto something about Pamela Isley. A whole bloody alphabet. She was a smart one. She died at age 25. Looking at her obituary now. Written by her mother, you've climbed farther than we can follow. To a land of better angels. And Bruce does indeed find the human. It's Gordon. What's up, Gordon? She says we're a team. The rest of the people got separated? What happened? Well, Brass didn't really tell us anything. They just sent us in with this augmented MUC, and you don't know what that means, do you? Of course I do, which is hilarious because Pennyworth had to tell him earlier. And so he grabs the weapon out of her hands, and she says, what are you doing? Look, I was sent in here to stop whatever's happening. We can be partners. So maybe she becomes Absolute Robin. We'll have to see. The news on Absolute Robin I heard is that it's somebody that the Joker made to think that the Joker is more right than Batman. If it's Jason Todd, we're cooked, bro. because he just can't be happy in any universe. He gets shit on so much. And Bruce pushes Barbara off the ledge. But I'm so serious. If it's Todd, I'm going to be upset. Because, not like upset as in like mad. I'm just going to be like, that's my darling boy. My darling boy, he could never have a win. I would just want him to have one win. Bruce, staring down at the floor, sees a giant face and says, I'm fine. Don't get in my way. He's definitely startled here. He's like way in over his head. They're trying to stop me, but I won't let them. I'm too close now. The breakthrough these past few weeks. Human cells remade with new DNA. First with Plantea, then Animalia, fungi, Protista, Eobacteria, and Archaebacteria. Human cells reconnected to nature, to a common base of cells that use the best of all life to mend. The cure for so much, I think of my mother, full of tubes, yellowing on a pillow that crunches like dead leaves. My sponsors, though all they want to do is divide up each discovery, individuate, separate. Old men who only think of what my work can do for them. Fine, I'll take my research somewhere else then. I'll do it tonight. I'm coming for you, mother. I promise. And Bruce, back to his little log. That night, I go to the one place that still makes sense. In the doorway, I take a moment to breathe it in. The smell of old wood, old books, then I hear her voice. His mother says I'm worried about him. I see him trying so hard with his friends, trying to put on a brave face with me, but it's not working. Well, he's a strong man. It's Gordon. Well, that's the thing, Jim. I just keep thinking about what you asked me. With everything going on in Gotham, what do I want to do? And now I know. And I'm scared. Because to do it, there are things about me that you don't know, that things no one else does, that if they ever came out would change everything. Very important, by the way. We'll get more into that later at the end of the issue. And Jim says, not everything. As they make out and Bruce watches, and if I was Bruce, bro, I'm smooth killing myself. Because what are we? Oh my God, bro. What an awful life. He's lost everything in like the span of a couple months, and then to just see your mom make out with another dude. Oh no. Yeah, sorry, Bruce. At this point, just don't even talk to anybody. Oh my God. We see what's going on with everybody else. Jack Grimm, the Joker, doing the Playboy act, going and eating cake, hanging around. We see Harley with the Red Hood gang. And it looks like there's some divide in between the groups because she's wanting to help the Batman and the rest are like, we don't partner with people. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe Jason will revolt up and become leader of the Red Hoods. I don't know. We see Dick Grayson with somebody else. It's like the whole city has gone crazy all because of him talking about Batman. And the lady he's with says, what do you propose to do about it, Dick? Maybe he might become Absolute Robin or become Nightwing just straight ahead. Is it him changing things? Is he behind it or is it me? Did Batman do all of this? What's the real source? And back to Batman at the top of the tree says, I'm here. I made it to the top. As Pamela Isley walks through and says, yes, you are. It's beautiful, isn't it? Because it used to be a lifetime ago. Pennyworth chimes in. Nothing up there is human. That's not Isley anymore. Wait until she gets closer and then use the thing to kill her. And Pam goes on. I'm almost to the door when I hear the bolt lock into place. Pam says I'll be taking that weapon. Well, it's gone. It's okay. Nothing up here will hurt you. Don't be afraid, Batman. I know how frightening change can be, but it's time to let go. The flashback to Bruce says, head down, eyes forward, hold it together. As he smashes the Batman merch stand down, he grabs the flamethrower and starts bursting everything into flames up there with Pam. Suddenly, the fire is everywhere. I remember feeling so terrified, but more than that, so angry. Angry because I thought that was the end. So, both times, present and past, completely covered in fire. He thinks that he wins against Pam right now because he says, is she down? What are you seeing? And we learn that it was just the beginning. As in the current day, more Pamela Isleys are coming out of the green. And Pennyworth reveals there is something up there, part human, part plant. but it's more than that. It's part everything. As they all say, it's time to let go, Batman. And the real Pamela Isley comes through and stares at him. And Batman, confused, just looks at her. And she says, "Welcome, Batman, to your wish." As he transforms into this monster hybrid thing. And then we go to the epilogue. Martha Wayne, inside of like a train station on a phone, calls somebody. "I didn't know if you'd answer, especially after all this time. It's me. I wasn't followed. Are you still there?" And then somebody responds with, "We're always here, Martha. We knew you'd come back one day." To the Court of Owls. Well, she's part of the Court of Owls. She might be a Talon. I don't know. The big things are here. So that's her big secret that she was revealing at the end. Holy shit. This is a long ass episode. This is a long ass comic today. Yeah. Thank you for listening much and enjoying. We'll see more Batman. Peace out.